FudeHouse.
Hey, welcome to FudeHouse. Let's take a sec and talk about fresh fish. If you ask most people what they consider to be fresh fish, they would say a fish that's been out of the water for, 2 days? Well, if you're not eating fish that comes from your local waterways and oceans, let's take a look at how fresh that fish really is. Okay, so let's say the fisherman leaves the dock and it takes about a day to get to his favorite spot. He spends about 2 days fishing the waters, and it takes him about a day to get back. The fish are unloaded and spend a day in limbo in a wholesaler's market or a processing facility. Let's say this fish is from the Gulf of Mexico. It's packed on a truck and driven all the way to, say, New York City. Let's be kind and say the driver can get it there in 2 days. By the time it gets to the market, out in front of the customers, and you take it home for dinner, that's another day, maybe 2. By the time that fish gets to your plate, it's been out of the water for 6 to 7 days. Now, if I asked you if a fish out of water for 7 days is fresh, I'm guessing you would say no. And think about it, this timeline gets even longer if you were to buy a fish from, say, Chile or the Mediterranean. The solution? Eat local, sustainable fish. You can cut those days the fish is out of the water by more than half, and you're going to be so surprised by how much better it tastes. Keep this in mind. Many fishmongers don't know the actual origin of their supply. If you eat local, you have a better chance of knowing exactly where Floppy here came from and how he was caught and raised. The best way to go is buy fish indigenous to your local area and find sustainable farmed fisheries in your hood. Okay, Gumshoe, here's the key to uncovering fish freshness. If you do nothing else, look at the eye. It should be crystal clear and bulging a bit. Here's a fish my dad caught. An old fish will have a cloudy eye, looking kinda like cataracts, and appear sunken due to dehydration. The gills should be a deep red. Gills are the first thing to decompose, thus creating that horrible fishy smell. So buy a whole fish with healthy gills, and have your fish guy cut it however you like. Hey, and steer clear of whole fish whose gills have been cut out. It's like, what are they trying to hide? If you want to get up close and personal, give your fish a smell and touch. Lots of TV personalities say to do this, but even I feel uncomfortable asking this of my fish guy, and lots of retail people don't want you touching their fish before you buy it. But keep in mind, the smell should be clean, fresh, and oceany, and the flesh should be firm and the skin should be vibrant, no mushy, dull fish. But remember, the eye alone is your dead giveaway. What if there is no eye? Well, keep this in mind. Fishmongers, as great as they are, want to hide the signs of aging. So in general, whole fish are fresher than fillets, which are fresher than the stuff that's sitting behind the case in marinades, which is fresher than the prepared foods that have already been cooked.